But I don't love that most. I love it most when I've done something that makes you feel really happy.
Mm-hmm.
Goldie's what you think she is. Women adore Goldie, men love Goldie, and if you don't, there's something wrong with you.
When Kurt Russell was asked about the secret behind a love that has endured for over 40 years, he smiled with quiet sincerity and said, "It's just the person, Goldie. She's everything." It was a simple response, yet it spoke volume. A powerful, heartfelt truth wrapped in just a few words. In a world, especially Hollywood, where relationships often flicker and fade, theirs has remained a rare and shining constant. But Kurt Russell's journey is not just defined by love. Behind the fame and enduring romance lies a man who has faced life's darker chapters, personal trials, heartbreaking losses, and inner battles that tested his spirit. In this video, we uncover the untold struggles and painful tragedies that shaped Kurt Russell, not just the actor, but the resilient man beneath the spotlight. Early life. Kurt Russell's journey began not in the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, but in the quiet suburbs of Springfield, Massachusetts. Born on March 17, 1951, to actor Bing Russell and actress Louise Russell, Kurt's life was destined to intersect with the entertainment world. His father, best known for his role as a baseball coach in the Wild Wild West, was a guiding figure in his life. However, it wasn't an easy start for young Kurt. His parents divorced when he was just a boy, and while his father remained involved in his life, Kurt's childhood was marked by the kind of emotional isolation that comes with being a child of a divorced family. But it was his father's tenacity that rubbed off on Kurt. Bing Russell wasn't just a passive observer of Hollywood, he was an active participant in shaping his son's career.
My dad, worked for a long time. He put, shoes on his kids' feet and food on the table by being an actor, and he did everything. It worked for a long time.
Road to stardom.
This town is Independence, Missouri. From here we go by wagon train all the way to California. I'm Jamie McFeeters.
Growing up on film sets and being around legendary figures like John Wayne, Kurt quickly realized the power of hard work and dedication. At the age of 12, he landed his first big acting role on a TV show called The Travels of Jamie McFeeters, and from that moment, there was no turning back. He became one of the biggest rising child stars.
You do it. You don't. It's like you don't talk about acting. You just do it.
By the 1970s, Kurt's face was everywhere. His roles in shows like Gilligan's Island, The Virginian, and The Quest helped him carve out a reputation as a talented, reliable actor. But it was his role in the 1979 Disney film The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes that launched him into the public's eye. The film, a quirky mix of science fiction and comedy, marked the beginning of Russell's long association with Disney. He became a Disney legend. But do you know what is remarkable about Russell's acting journey? It is where he found the love of his life, Goldie Hawn. Romantic relationship.
It's like anybody else. We met each other. You get to know somebody. You get surprised by somebody. I was impressed with Goldie visually when I first heard the images of her were alluring and attractive. So.
Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's love story began not with fireworks, but with a slow-burning spark that grew into something extraordinary. They first met in 1966 on the set of the one and only Genuine Original Family Band. But it wasn't until nearly 2 decades later, on the set of Swing Shift in 1983, that their connection truly took root. They instantly became one of Hollywood's iconic couples, admired by many. There was no rush, no pressure, just two people who genuinely enjoyed each other's company, respected each other's space, and shared a profound understanding of what it means to truly love and support another person.
You don't know anything. I don't. I'll speak for me. I don't know anything at all. Today's today, tomorrow's tomorrow. Goldie's Goldie.
I feel like I'm just meeting you for the first time.
And when you think that everything is going perfectly, life tests you. Personal tragedy. Behind the scenes of his growing career, Russell was grappling with life's harshest realities. In 2003, his father, Bing, passed away. He was not just a father to him, he was his best friend, his motivator, his mentor, and the first person to believe in him, now gone. He later shared that his father's death was the darkest biggest and loneliest tragedy he had. As if losing his father weren't enough, Kurt Russell would face another life-altering loss, the death of his mother, Louise, in 2014. The pain of losing his parents was compounded by the reality that his parents had always been a central part of his life. They weren't just figures in his past, they were his greatest supporters, and without them, he felt an immense sense of emptiness. If you think that his pain ends here, well, you are wrong. Mental health. The death of the two most important people in his life brought Kurt into an immense grief that affected his mental health. Adding to this is the constant media attention that he has been receiving. He felt like quitting, but it is not who he is. He continued his life, silently bringing with him the pain of loss that will never heal. But the big question is, how did Russell always manage to get up each time he falls? Goldie Hawn.
My girl, Goldie. There have been a lot of times when I've referred to her as my wife. There's been a lot of times I referred to her as a girlfriend. Look, she's Goldie, so that's how I see her.
He has someone, a selfless presence, who stands by him through every high and low. That someone is Goldie Hawn. She has been the unwavering constant in his life, not just a partner, but his anchor, keeping him grounded during even the darkest times. Through grief and hardship, they stood together, raising a family and championing each other's careers. Their relationship speaks volumes about enduring love, deep loyalty, and quiet strength. But do you know what's interesting about their relationship?
The tradition, our children got married. I mean, they did not get married. The point is that we tried it. We all tried marriage. And sometimes marriage doesn't work. It's okay. It's not about the marriage. It's about the people and the relationship and the will to stay together.
Yes, they never tied the knot. For over 3 decades, they've shared a ringless bond, proving that commitment isn't defined by legal contracts, but by the everyday choice to stay, to care, and to grow together. In a world that often equates love with ceremony and rings, they chose something different: authenticity over tradition. And maybe this is the reason why their love endured.
There's a lot of things sometimes that somebody else sees that you don't see. You have to be open for these things,
Kurt Russell's career is a masterclass in longevity and adaptability. From Disney star to action hero to dramatic actor, he carved a niche for himself in Hollywood, never allowing the industry to define him. But it was the personal struggles, the loss of his father, the grief of losing his mother, and the emotional depth he carried from those moments that truly shaped Kurt Russell into the man we know today. And as Kurt Russell continues his journey, one thing remains clear: the flame of his career burns as brightly as ever, shaped by the moments that have defined him and the people who have stood by him. Time may not slow down for anyone, but Kurt Russell's story reminds us that sometimes the greatest triumphs come from overcoming life's toughest battles.